Hey guys, I want to show you today on how to fix your Dyson. It's got the can out, but if your Dyson does this, your Dyson Ball, when you pick it up or tilt it back, the front just kind of falls down with it. That is not correct. It means your Dyson is broken, or I guess is not in its correct factory form. You probably will have lost a screw, something like this. It's a black screw, but you can tell that this is it's been rubbing against the plastic, so it's rubbed off a little bit of the black to be silver. So today I'm going to show you how to replace this or reinstall this screw. And we're going to place some blue, well, it's just plastic thread locker on there to help keep it on, because I've done it several times where I just put the screw back in and it always seems to work its way back out. So tools you'll need, 15mm Torx, T15 Torx bit, so it's 15mm Torx millimeter. You can get a screwdriver like this from your local hardware store, or you can get a Torx like this one from a socket set, or you can buy the bits at your hardware store. I suggest this one because it's in a tight space, and this allows you to put the bit in and then get a wrench on it. Alright, so first things first, recline your Dyson Ball backwards. And we're going to start to disassemble it. First, take off the front. So you press the tab, and you push downwards, and it comes off towards the camera here. So you want that off. Give yourself some more room. Next thing you want to do is go down here. We're going to pull this filter cover off. That's where it starts getting fun, so to speak. On the ball, right here, right up here, right over here, and right here, there are 4 T15 Torx screws. You need to remove them. And we're going to pull, well, I guess it doesn't come off quite right yet. It's loose, but you can't remove it yet. I recommend removing this filter. If you haven't cleaned it in a while, go ahead and clean it. Okay, so it's on this side. You're going to want to stand this back up and lean it on its side. Right here, this screw down here, it needs to come out. This screw is a little longer than the other one, so make sure you set it aside from the other 4. This plate right here will pop out, so make sure you note its orientation, and that is it's got a little bit of a hook or a little indent right here. It's got an indent on the other side, and it lines up with these 2 I guess, pillars or tabs on the Dyson. So now we're back up here. Go ahead and slide it back down. Pull this down a little bit to get yourself some extra space. We can pull this off a little bit. Now we've got to pull on this side of the Dyson. Right here, this thing can't come off because right here you can see there's a tab holding it into this black part. And that tab, it can't be removed unless you kind of it's maybe a 1/2 inch tab. You got to move this side of the Dyson out a little bit to get clearance to remove that tab off. So I just kind of used this hand to hold this gray plastic part, and I pushed a little bit on the black right here to give me enough room. Right here you'll notice that there is a gear of sorts. This is what the Dyson kind of rotates on, and if you look in here, that gear goes right into that area, and it keeps the ball moving around. Now at this point you could probably do it with just half the ball off. You could probably get in and fix it, but I like to have the whole thing off. You also know on this other side this is a gear too, and it does the same thing. So it's easiest to have it on the top, kind of get your finger under there and push a little on the black again and get it out. Okay, so now we've got our Dyson ball without the ball. This is where you gotta be super careful. The part in question is right here. There's a spring, and then there's a black thing, a black piece of plastic that sits on a peg, and I'll get you a good. You'll see it when you're taking it apart. But what you want to be very careful is right now that you don't lose the spring. It doesn't go shooting off, and you don't totally dislodge it, because that's a pain in the butt to put back on. It's doable. I've done it, but it's not fun. So right now I'm dealing with what I just described. It's come off a little too far, and it's going to be a pain in the butt to get back on. You can pretty clearly see which post it goes on. There's a post right down here. I know you can't see that from the camera, but when you're looking in here, it's very obvious which. It's only one post, and it's round, obviously, because that's what a post is. So it also helps you can get it. You can stop it before it gets to this point where it falls off, and it's much easier to repair because you just get in there and retighten the screw. And you can tell because when you look, when you release this latch to put the vacuum into usable position or recline position, it will be a lot less crisp. It'll be more wobbly, and that's when you know your screw's starting to come out. At that point in time, if you take this ball off, you can get in there before the screw comes out. Okay, so I've got it back in there. Let me give you a close-up of what it should look like when you're done. This is in fully upright position. right? That spring right there should be coiled like that. This is the black hook, black plastic thing. It's sitting on this other hook. And back here, it's on a pedestal that's right back here. I'll flip it over and give you a better look. When it's not hooked, or when you're in the recline position, it comes back up here. It pops up here and rests on this ledge. Back here, so it's sitting on the back. Back here, it's this black peg is sitting in this leg right here, and it's keeping the leg from reclining. I'm not going to put any pressure on it because I don't want to have it pop off the peg anymore. The peg is right here, and there's the screw goes right in here too. Okay, so that's how it looks like from the back, and this is how you have to really get in there and get the screw in. Okay, so right here we got our screw. I'm going to end up trying to put it in several times and end up dropping it, so don't be discouraged. Here's the screw again. On the bottom side you can see there's some teeth. They're for trying to help hold the screw in to keep itself from self-loosening. Obviously they don't work so great since we have this problem. I guess in this part, don't forget to apply your thread locker at this point. I mean, there's several methods here. I'm going to apply it to the threads, and I'm going to end up applying it into the hole itself too. But maybe what you want to do is, if you're like me and you drop the screw a whole bunch of times, maybe you want to kind of get the couple threads in first, and then apply a thread locker to that whole area later before you tighten it down. So here I'm going to use my torx screwdriver, and I'm going to have to kind of go in at an angle because it doesn't line up so well. I'll get a couple threads started and I'll finish it off with the pliers. One caveat with the pliers, I will speed up the plier tightening part. With the pliers, be careful that you don't strip the whole screw and the threads. It's a metal screw into plastic threads, so you could easily strip the whole joint, so just be careful. So this one has to go in first, came out last, first in, or first out, first in. Okay, so it helps a ton if you hold there's the white sprocket right here. There's a little lip. If you hold that back against the white, so this way, then you put the plastic on top, and then you push this way on the black. Then it just kind of slides right in. Let's do the other side. So right here, installation is pretty much reverse removal. Make sure you get your thumb in there and push on the black part and kind of wiggle it all in. Takes a little bit of time, but you'll get it. Once you have it, it should spin freely in on the gears like this. So here, just reinstall the 4 torx screws again, and then check to make sure that it spins like it should freely. So right here we're going to turn it on its side and reinstall that plastic tab. So you got to make sure you line it up with the tabs and with the circlets inside what the ball axis spins on. Just go ahead and reinstall a torx screw and tighten it. At this point you can recline the vacuum and stick your filter back in. Don't stick a wet filter in. What I've noticed is it helps if you run your finger along the inner edge here. You kind of pull it out so that you get a good seal. If you put it back in and it starts whistling, that means you got to come back and rework on this seal here to make sure you get a good seal. Sometimes it helps though if maybe you get your finger a little wet and just kind of run your finger around here, then put it in there, and then wait for it to dry, and then try turning on the vacuum and see if you stop the whistle. So anyway, it's fixed now. You can go like this, and it comes up with the rest of the vacuum. When you click this down, your wheels actually kind of shoot up, but when you go like this, the wheels shoot back down. That's all based upon that one little black piece with the screw.